But we do start tonight with Michigan's failing schools. The state's reform office has put chronically low-performing schools on notice. Either shape up or face the possibility of being shut down by next summer. The reform office says the targeted schools have been failing for the past 8 to 12 years. Let's bring in our MiWeek contributors now. Nolan Finley from the Detroit News, and joining us again this week while Stephen Henderson is away, Nancy Caffer, columnist for the Detroit Free Press. Nance, welcome back. Nolan, it's good to see you as always. Yeah, we are heading towards the back-to-school time of year. Much too, I know that parents are cheering out there.
2 weeks too late, isn't it?
Kids are saying, no, summer not over yet. But it really does bring to the conversation and what we saw some news coming out this week about the school reform office and then the Michigan Department of Education, and what seems to be a very wide gap in between the two and how they're operating when it comes to failing schools. You know, Nancy, I'm going to start with you. When you see the news from the reform office saying, well, now we're going to take a look and we might start to shut some schools down, and we're going to take into consideration the criteria, which would be the new M-STEP test results. So they haven't even gotten back. A lot of schools haven't gotten those test results back yet. When the Department of Education said, you know what, we're going to wait a couple years for this test to take hold before we start using it in any kind of evaluations. What do you make of that and that gap between two offices there?
Well, the school reform office is underneath the governor. The state Department of Education has an independently elected board. So it is literally a separation. You see one office doing stuff at the behest of the administration, another office doing stuff under the guidance of an elected board. I mean, I think we come back to this central problem with what you said in the intro. The schools have time to either shape up or be closed. So the devil's always in the details, right? So the question is, when we tell schools they have to shape up or face closure, what are we doing to help them shape up? You can't just say to a failing school, you got to get better. You don't get any more resources, you don't get any more training, any more equipment, any more material help to fix your buildings, any more resources to help kids who are low performing, any more salary to pay more qualified teachers. You just have to get better. I mean, that's not really a viable plan for improvement. And the other thing is, when we talk about closing failing schools, what are we replacing them with? Are we saying, okay, so we're going to close this failing school that you're in, and you're going to go to this other school that's maybe not failing quite so badly, that's sort of near you? Are they going to replace them with a better alternative? There has to be. These are things that are very easy to say, fix, get better or close. But how do you make any of that happen?
Are we missing details on this, Nolan?
Yeah, I mean, the school reform office has been negligent in its job. We've been continuously frustrated that it hasn't moved to close schools that should close. There are 40,000 extra school seats in the city of Detroit. There's 40 schools on this list of failing schools that should be closed. I think it's 32 public schools, 8 charters. They should go now, because the district doesn't have the resources to sustain this infrastructure, this overcapacity. And if you could shrink down as quickly as possible, if you could identify the schools that are failing and probably aren't going to get better, and shrink them down, you've got more resources to put in viable schools. That was my problem from the beginning with the EAA. When you have an overcapacity of schools, why take the 15 worst and try to make them better? Why not take those 15 and shut them down and try to make the next group better?
But
and the office has been, I think, remiss throughout its history.
But don't you then have a transportation problem, or you have a geographic problem with a lot of kids who maybe then, if you take that neighborhood school, you say we're going to shut it down, it goes to what Nancy was saying, then what do you do next for them?
Exactly. I mean, you can't just say shut it down. We're talking about a city where there's a large percentage of people who don't have cars, where public transportation doesn't work the way it should. It's not a matter of just, oh, we're going to close this and then you're going to go to an amazing school. The other thing that I think, the trap that people fall into here, is we talk about the school as though it's an entity independent from the people who teach in it and the kids who go to it, and the resources from the community around it, the resources it has to use to educate children. So, I mean, you take that school that's failing and you get rid of that school that's failing, well, you still have, X number of children who have been in that failing school, who are going to go to other schools. Does being in a different building somehow magically change their circumstances?
But Detroit,
what's the thing that happens that once you get rid of that school, what's the alchemy that turns us into a successful proposition?
And the transportation issue and the location issue is a serious problem. But there are enough buildings. I mean, when you close a school, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to close a building. You could close the schools that need to be failing and then reallocate the resources, the teachers, into a geographic network that makes sense, or bring in new operators, but you can't continue to maintain twice as many seats in the school district than you have children.
I think it's also, I think also we need to look at this widening gap, and Nancy, you talked about it in terms of you have an office that's under the control of the governor, and then you have the Michigan Department of Education. And what parents are wondering when you hear something coming out of the Michigan Department of Education, why do you need to even bother paying attention to that, knowing that the school reform office, they're the ones that are going to be enacting some kind of closure. And as a parent, when you hear, last year our kids took the M steps, and we're waiting for these results, and we heard from the education department, don't worry, it's going to be this first year, we're really not going to use these results as any kind of test. And now you have the reform office saying, well, we're going to use whatever data we have for the last 3 years.
Then you didn't get them till January.
Yeah, and I think that's what's the troubling gap here.
So that is troubling, and it's unclear if it's even really fair once we have a new set of more rigorous standards. The new test measures performance on those standards, or whether or not kids are learning to meet those standards. You have to give teachers time to kind of ramp up. I mean, obviously some of these schools, as the CEO or the head of the school reform office will say, have been failing for a decade.
Right, and will 1 year make a difference?
But the other thing that we have to think about in terms of the standards that kids are learning to is once again, if you move people to a different school, how's that going to change? But the other thing with the governance that we have here is, so we have now, let's count the ways we have at the state level to intervene in failing school districts. We have emergency managers, which I think have not really shown to work, in school districts. I think they're particularly ill-suited to work in school districts. We have the school reform office, which can appoint CEOs to run school districts, which is not quite an emergency manager, but they have power over things separate from the superintendent. Yeah. You have all these sort of dodges to try to have top-down intervention in school districts. Most research shows that bottom-up intervention works better, but also it all is a way to get around this idea that somehow if you just pay more scrutiny and have someone who's better at looking at the books, you have someone who's more in charge, things are going to magically get better. What they need is resources.
Last word on this, Nolan.
Yeah, one of the problems we have in Michigan, I mean, this is a fairly unique setup. Most states don't have both a governor in charge of education and an elected school board in charge of education, and sort of not much cooperation between them. In most states, in one way or the other, the elected governor is in charge of the schools, and we keep trying to work around our structural problems, and this is a core issue. We're never going to get unity on education reform as long as you have these two competing entities going after each other.